What's going on, everyone? If you're new to this channel, please check out the description of this video, and I'll leave a playlist and also some links so you understand more of what I'm talking about. But this video is basically just going to be a follow-up video from a brand new news story that is connected to what I have been talking about on my channel. I've been talking about how the media stories are always interrelated and they code them with themes, and they also code them with what is called gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. And every single day, our media is like this. That's why, if you ever have read a news article and you wonder why they leave just the weirdest fact in there that doesn't really make any sense to the article, such as Adam Lanza, they made sure to let us know that he weighed 112 pounds. You know, the guy who supposedly killed the children at Sandy Hook equals 112. And he was also born on the 112th day of the year. Or that's why we get all the stories with Donald Trump and the wall. Wall equals 48 in gematria. Donald Trump equals 48 in gematria. He's also a racist and, part of the KKK, supposedly. Or, sympathizes with the KKK. Well, look at this. Ku Klux Klan. 138, 60, just like Donald Trump. All of our media stories are always interrelated like this, and they're always coded with the system of gematria. So, that being said, please check out a playlist that I'll leave in the description, and I'll also leave a couple links showing you how to, practice this system of coding numbers into words and understand how it is being done. But a while back, I had covered how this Family Guy episode with Kevin Spacey. There was a Family Guy episode from 2005, and in it, Stewie runs naked through the mall and says that, "Help, I've just escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement." And then now we got all these stories about Kevin Spacey being a sexual, predator or whatever was going on with it. And if you go back and watch that episode, there's all kinds of stuff in this episode that has been in recent news, such as they mention Benson right here on this part. Brian says, "Oh, Benson was a funny show." And literally right before the Kevin Spacey stuff, we got the death of the guy who plays Benson on the TV show Benson. October 24th, Kevin Spacey was in trouble. What was it, on October 29th, the anniversary of the stock market crash falling? And there's other stuff in this video, in this episode of Family Guy. They say Joan Rivers back from the dead or whatever. And last year on Christmas, if you recall, Joan Rivers randomly tweeted, and people even said Joan Rivers back from the dead or whatever, back from the grave. And there's a ton more to this episode. I even talked about how they're a family. They basically become a family band, and I mentioned it's a lot like the Partridge Family. And then we got the death of David Cassidy, the guy on the Partridge Family. And also in this episode, Meg Griffin loses her virginity to Jimmy Fallon. And on November 4th this year, Jimmy Fallon's mother supposedly died. Also, the original person, they said on Wikipedia here, the original person that they were going to use when Stewie ran naked in the mall, it was supposed to be Roman Polanski, but they changed it to Kevin Spacey. Roman Polanski, his wife is the one who was murdered by the Manson family. Charles Manson, got the Manson family to go murder his wife, Sharon Tate. So what are the odds they would even write that in on Wikipedia? So anyway, like I said, just a short recap. Check out the videos in the playlist. But today I got on the news and I went to CNN, and this was one of the major stories here. This Garrison Keillor, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. And he's all of a sudden fired by the Minnesota Public Radio over, claims of inappropriate behavior. So the first thing I did was I went to Wikipedia and I looked this guy up. And as you scroll down on his page, you would find there was a section on here that says in pop culture. And it doesn't say it on here now, but when I came here earlier, it was on here and it talked about how, let me find it here. It talked about, this is what was originally in here earlier today, and then they deleted it. But it talked about this 2005 Family Guy episode with Garrison Keillor in it called Don't Make Me Over. This same exact episode that I've been talking about. So just before they start this family band or whatever, they're playing a show at the prison, and they're like, we don't remember how to play our instruments or whatever. So then all the prison guys start hating them, and then Meg and the rest of the family comes out and they start a family band. But in order to try to calm down the prison people, Peter says, hey, how about a funny story about Lake Wobegon, or however you say that? And that is a joke against Garrison Keillor, because I don't even know about this guy, honestly. I don't even really know that much about him, but it's a joke against him. If you look it up, if you look him up, you even see like it's like a fictional town or something that's associated with this guy. Created the fictional town called this, right? So it's a joke against this guy. So what are the odds that this guy, the only episode that he's made fun of in Family Guy, just so happens to be the same episode that I've been mentioning, and how all these interrelated media stories are going on, you know? Kevin Spacey's in this. Jimmy Fallon's in this one. They do the whole Partridge Family thing. And if you've been following my channel, I've talked a lot about the film Stand By Me and how a lot of the stuff is connected to Stand By Me. And when you look up the only other episode that David Cassidy is mentioned in, it's this one right here where they do a spoof of Stand By Me. So all of these things interrelated. Just yet again want to show that what I'm talking about, it keeps coming up in the mainstream media. It's all coded back to this Family Guy episode from 2005 called Don't Make Me Over. And they even do a Bill Cosby joke in this episode as well that I forgot to mention. But think about Bill Cosby and the, raping and whatever, date drugging women and all kinds of stuff. It's all super fitting for what is going on every single day in our media. It's just the most ridiculous stuff. None of these guys getting in trouble. They're all just getting fired, which is part of the Donald Trump joke as well, right? From The Apprentice, getting fired. Anyway, let's see here. Let's look at what I put in here about this post. So I noticed that this guy, his real name is Gary Edward Keillor. That equals 89 in gematria. This story comes out 8 months, 9 days before his birthday. Fitting. The Family Guy episode called Don't Make Me Over, that equals 89 in gematria. The Benson guy died at the age of 89. The big thing in that episode is the family's song, Gonna Buy Me a Rainbow, that equals 89. So, who knows? Something to think about. And their family band all starts because of this karaoke machine where Peter and Cleveland and Quagmire and Joe start a band, but they do this karaoke song by Journey, right? Don't Stop Believin'. So possibly we're going to see Journey, something to do with Journey in the media soon, or even P. Diddy, because of the whole, when he's talking to Benson. There's only a few other famous people that were on this episode, so I wouldn't doubt if we see something to do with the band Journey, or Puff Daddy, or P. Diddy, or whatever his 10 names are, in the media soon. But I've mentioned how all of this stuff goes back to the national anthem, and also to the flag symbolism. And Don't Stop Believin' equals 231 in reverse gematria, just like national anthem. And they also do a thing, they make fun of Coyote Ugly, which is interesting because when I first noticed these numbers, 231, it was in connection to this Ralph theme that I had noticed over a year ago. And then I said, I think Ralphie May is possibly going to die because there was the number 124 was connected to fat comedians. Then Ralphie May dies 1 month, 24 days after the video that I made. But he died 231 days after his birthday of cardiac arrest that equals 231. And the video that I made about fat comedians was on the 231st day of the year. And it stemmed back to this Ralph theme that I was talking about when we had the death of David Huddleston from the movie The Big Lebowski, right? And he died 124 days before Jeff Bridges, who's the other Lebowski on the movie, right? Before his actual birthday on 12/4, a lot like 124. But the Big Lebowski equals 231 in Gematria. And in that joke, in that movie, there's a joke about going to the store Ralph's, right? And then it has John Goodman in the movie. John Goodman is also King Ralph, but John Goodman's also the dad on Coyote Ugly as well. So just makes me think of that. And there's a whole lot more that's going on with this movie Big Lebowski and how it's connected to King Ralph and a lot of the, Charles Manson stuff. There's a bunch of stuff that's leading back to the royal family. We just had Prince Harry getting engaged and whatnot. And there's even the only episode of The Simpsons that even mentions Prince Harry. They even do of they even do a joke on King Ralph right after they mention Prince Harry partying too much with Bart Simpson or whatever. And in this movie, the guy who dies at the end is Donnie, right? Making me think of Donald Trump and whatnot. And they show us they even show us the Cleveland Cavaliers winning in 2016 if you pay attention when they're bowling. Oh man, there's just been a ton of stuff that I talked about in regards to this movie. And on the movie King Ralph, John Goodman's character is originally from the United States, right? He's from Las Vegas of all places. And the big stuff with Ralphie May, who died in Las Vegas, right? Ralphie May died in Las Vegas just after the Las Vegas terrorist or Las Vegas shooting and all that. John Goodman's character in King Ralph from Las Vegas. Now Prince Harry's wife is going to be the first American in the royal family since Wallace Simpson, right? And that was the whole reason that Queen Elizabeth was even able to become the queen because you know her uncle married Wallace Simpson, and that made her dad become the king because you know his brother couldn't be the king or whatever because he wanted to marry Wallace Simpson. And then her sister, Princess Margaret, and I know Derek will love this because Princess Margaret was born on August 21st, the same day as the eclipse this year. Although she died in, 2001, I think it was? 2002, just after the 9/11 stuff. She died 49 days before their mother, who was born on August 4th. Simpson equals 84. And Prince Harry's wife, or Prince Harry's Meghan Markle, born on 8/4, the same day, exactly 81 years before. And that's even how they're related, through the Bose family or whatever. Queen Elizabeth's mother was Elizabeth Bose Lyon or whatever. It's all just super ridiculous. So Prince Harry is related to his fiance through the Queen's mother, who was born on 8/4, just like Meghan Markle. But whatever, that's like I said, that's for a whole nother video. But just wanted to point it out. There's definitely something going on with the royal theme. There has been for ever since I've been doing this, even before I knew Gematria, there was tons of connections that always led back to the royal family and whatnot when I was only looking at, birthdays and some other things in regards to numerology. But have a good one. Peace.